We don't do that in this community. Take that shit out of here. Get out of here. We don't do that here. We don't do that here. You can do whatever you want. Don't do it here. They want you to be sitting there doing that shit all day so you don't think, so you don't see what's going on around you. You're destroying our civilization. You're destroying our society. Get out of here. Get out of here. Don't do that shit here. We don't do that. It's not illegal. We're in a public place now. Get out of here before I get angry. Get out of here. Anyway.
Yo, when you click likes on the stream, it helps me help my daughter.
And this same group of kids had like not even listened to anybody, but they listened to me. They got in the truck and they drove off, okay? And people were like, how did you do this? How did you make these kids? They had disrespected everybody, but they listened to you. Like these kids had disrespected people, laughed at people. These people had even mouthed off to the cops. I had boldness. I had the element of surprise. I had just you go in hot, you go in heavy. And I really think it's just Nietzschean will to power. That's what it is. It's Nietzschean will to power. You have to make the decision to commit, and you have to make the decision to live life purposefully, and this will transmit itself into everything you do, and that includes aggression, and that includes bending the world around you to your will. And so this is not for the faint of heart, and I'm not telling the average person to just jump right into this, because it's not something I jumped into overnight. But I am giving you sort of a roadmap to how you can get yourself to that point. And people say, oh, you got to lift weights all day. Okay, well, I'm a fat, pudgy guy, and I scare the shit out of people, right? I do, including people that are bigger than me. So, I mean, it's, you know, it's that and probably the fact that I wear tactical clothing, and I also have what's called a command presence, right? So I'm going to give you guys a little bit of advice. If you have a thug person, right? Let's say you have like a thug gangsta person and they're trying to bitch you up. They're trying to get in your personal space. What I personally do is I say, that's close enough, get back now, right? And the reason I do that is because it sets off alarm bells. Wow, most people don't do that. Most people either are going to get right back in their face and they're going to have like a staring contest, or they're gonna be like, let's talk about this, calm down, man. All right, I don't do that. If a gangsta thug person is trying to get in my face, I say, back up, that's close enough. Don't get any closer, right? And the reason I do that, part of the reason I do that is Florida Statute 776, justifiable use of force. If you don't know what that is, you'll fuck around and find out. Let me put it that way. But anyways, Florida Statute 776 aside, the reason I do that is because my personal space is sacred to me. I'm not going to allow that, right? And so, like, having a terrifying presence is having a constitution and what I mean by I don't mean like the U.S. Constitution. I'm talking about like a personal constitution of who you are and what you believe in, and having a Nietzschean will to power, and having a force greater than yourself speaking through you. Understanding that you're not just yourself, that you're a collection of DNA, you're a collection of like billions of little molecules and cells, and your ancestors, and you're quantumly entangled with the universe. You're not just you. And once you tap into this greater field of energy and vitality, you stop fearing shit as much, right? And so this is where having a terrifying presence really comes from, at least for me. Some people are just big and naturally terrifying, but I would say the most terrifying people in all of history had a solid constitution, a solid unifying idea and purpose of who they were and what their mission was. And if anybody gets in the way of the mission of that type of man, they're going to be crushed. And people know that, and they get the fuck out of the way. And so, like, this is honestly, younger people have seen that video where I chased those kids out of the park. There's other videos on the internet where people have literally ran from me. Yes, there's videos out there of people running from me, okay? And the reason this exists, the reason I used to scare whole groups of people, I mean 3 or 4 people would get the fuck away from me. Like the real terrifying presence perk in fucking Fallout New Vegas. I had that perk in real life, okay? And the reason I had that perk was very simple. It's not because I'm some big tough guy. I'm actually not. It's because I had a constitution. I had a unifying belief system and a Nietzschean will to power, right? It's the same reason that I've gone from fat to skinny at various points in my life, because I look in the mirror and I get tired of how I look, and I'm like, I want to get skinny again. And then I start working out, and then boom, I'm skinny again. It's the same reason I'm able to do that. I can get skinny anytime I want. I got pictures of me when I was like 200 pounds flat, like muscle, right? And then there's times when I was like 300 pounds, right? Because I like to eat, right? And so this is something that I can turn on and off. It's something that, unfortunately, I need to learn to not turn it off. Because society will see you crunk like that. They'll see you crunk. Yeah! Anyways, society will see you crunk, and they're going to try to turn that shit off. So that's another thing. Society does not want men with a strong will to power, especially young men. Right? They tolerate it with older guys, especially if you've channeled that into a purpose that society likes, especially if it goes along with the status quo. But in younger men, people will see this Nietzschean will to power, and they're going to try to turn it off. They're going to try to flip that switch. I mean, they'll probably arrest you if that's what it takes to flip that off. When they see a young man like fucking glowing like that, and I don't mean like glowing like glow so bright glowing. I mean glowing. When they see a fucking man glowing with that Nietzschean will to power, I'm not gonna lie, bro, they're gonna arrest that guy, throw him in jail. They're gonna test him. They're gonna try to figure out how to turn that shit off. They want to flip that shit off once you flip it on. So that's another thing you gotta remember. Like, society's gonna try to make you turn it off. And this energy is not always used positive. I mean, I think G.G. Allen is actually a perfect case of somebody using this energy in a somewhat negative way, right? But if you want the gist of like the terrifying presence perk and how you get it in real life, that's kind of how you do it. You know, this is why I was able to chase people. This is why entire groups of people were terrified of me. This is fucking why, is because this is why I was a leader. This is why I was in a leadership position. This is why anonymous donors gave me hundreds of dollars and stuff like that. This is why, because I had vision and purpose and a constitution, and I had a connection with the higher energies of the universe, and that's a personal journey you have to go on. You have to discover who you are. And ultimately, you have to realize that your life is finite and that your legacy is what really lasts forever. And that's what's taught in the Have 'em All. That's what's taught under Odinism and things like that. Just remember in your day-to-day life that you are temporary. Your legacy and arguably your soul and your cosmic vital force, your cosmic pillar, your connection to the cosmic pillar and the universal order is permanent. Like, it really is. Like, that never goes away. No greater force exists than the conviction of a man that knows he's right. I'll say that. Knowing you're right and knowing that you're being guided by a force greater than yourself is going to give you that extra push. And it could be religion, it could be patriotism, it could be ideological, whatever it is. It's that power greater than yourself. That's what gives you the energy to truly be terrifying. And it's also communicated through the eyes. The eyes are the window to the soul. And then obviously body posture and lifting weights. Yeah, stuff like that obviously matters. I'm a pretty big dude, and even though I'm fat, I'm pretty strong, and I got a reputation as somebody that knows how to do shit. So take with that what you will. Guys, thank you for watching the video. I appreciate it. Jordan Jareb signing off.